All right, today we're going to dive into a book that completely changes how you think about money. It's Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. Now, this isn't about complicated formulas or how to pick the next hot stock. Nope, this is all about the messy, human side of things, the surprising behaviors that really, truly drive financial success.
And this quote right here, this is the heart of the entire book. It's so powerful because we're all taught that finance is like a math problem, a hard science. But what Housel argues is that it's actually a soft skill. It's about how you deal with things like greed and fear, and that's way more important than what your spreadsheet says.
So first up is this really foundational idea. No one's crazy. This is a total game changer because it means that the financial choices we make aren't random. They're deeply personal, and they're shaped by our own unique history with money. Understanding this helps you have a little more empathy, not just for other people, but for yourself too.
Okay, let's paint a picture here to see what this looks like in the real world. Imagine someone who grew up during the Great Depression. They watched people lose everything. To them, the stock market probably looks like a dangerous casino, so being super cautious with their money isn't crazy, it's perfectly rational. Now, compare that to a millennial who started investing during a massive bull market. For them, taking on risk might feel totally normal, almost like a sure thing.
And here's the key takeaway. Neither of those people is crazy. Not at all. They're both making logical choices based on their own personal experience of how the world works. What looks like a completely reckless move to one person can be a total no-brainer to someone else. And getting that? Well, that's the first step to making better financial decisions for yourself.
So that idea leads us right into one of the biggest, most important distinctions in the whole book, and that's the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Yeah, we use those words like they mean the same thing, but trust me, they are worlds apart. Being rich is all about what you can see. It's flashy. It's the big salary that pays for the fancy car, the huge house, the designer clothes. It's all about spending. It's a loud display of current income that basically screams, "Look at me, I'm successful." But wealth is the exact opposite. It's what you don't see. It's the money that you saved instead of spent. It's the investments working for you in the background. Wealth is quiet. It's not about buying more stuff. It's about buying freedom. It's about having options for your future. Let's break it down like this. The person you see driving a $100,000 Ferrari, they are telling you they're rich. But the person who has a few million tucked away, who could buy that Ferrari but decides not to, that person is wealthy. They've bought something way more valuable than a car, the freedom to wake up and do whatever they want with their day.
And man, this line right here, it's everything. Just think about it. The ability to control your own time. To wake up in the morning and say, I can do anything I want today. That is the absolute best thing money can buy. That's real wealth.
Okay, so if true wealth is the goal, if it's all about having control over your time, how do you actually build it in a world that is just completely unpredictable? Well, Housel says it's not about trying to predict the future. It's about building a plan that can survive all the surprises life is going to throw at you.
I love this concept. It's so simple and so powerful. Room for error isn't about being negative or pessimistic. It's just being realistic. It's the little bit of cushion you build in because you know that life happens, things go wrong. Acknowledging that the world is messy is actually a financial superpower. And the second big principle for dealing with uncertainty is this idea of tail events. Basically, in almost everything, from investing to business, a tiny, tiny handful of huge successes are responsible for almost all of the gains. Think about a company like Amazon or Apple. Their massive wins pretty much define the whole market.
And this chart, this shows it perfectly. Look at that. You could have a bunch of investments that do okay, maybe even a few that lose money, but then one of them, that single massive bar, just takes off. And it produces returns that make everything else look tiny in comparison. That's the power of a tail event.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What do you actually do? Well, you can't predict which one is going to be the big winner. So, your job is just to stay in the game long enough for those winners to show up. It's all about patience. The single worst thing you can do is panic and sell, because that's when you miss out on those rare game-changing wins.
Okay, this next part, this might be the most profound and honestly the most difficult challenge in all of finance. It's about learning the art of being satisfied. And that is an idea that runs completely opposite to pretty much everything our society tells us.
I mean, really, think about it. At what point do you actually have enough? It's a really hard question to answer, because modern capitalism is basically a machine designed to make you feel like you never have enough.
There's always a bigger house, a nicer car, another vacation. The goalposts are always moving. To really bring this home, Household tells this fantastic story. So you've got two famous authors, Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller, at this lavish party hosted by a billionaire hedge fund manager. At one point, Vonnegut leans over and says, "You know, that guy made more money today than you've made from your book Catch-22 in its entire history."
Wow, what a perfect response. Yes, but I have something he will never have. Enough. Heller understood that the goal isn't just more. It's enough. He knew where his finish line was. The billionaire, on the other hand, was probably trapped in a game he could never win. Knowing when to stop is a true superpower.
So, after all these big, powerful ideas, what do we do with them? How can we actually apply this stuff to our own lives? Let's try to boil it all down into a simple, actionable framework.
Here it is. It's really just 4 simple steps. Number 1, be kinder to yourself. Forgive your past money mistakes. They made sense to you at the time. Number 2, define what wealth really means to you. Is it stuff or is it freedom and control? 3, embrace that room for error. Build a cushion. And finally, the hardest one of all, decide what's enough for you and get those goalposts to stop moving.
Because at the end of the day, all these lessons, they're about so much more than just money. This isn't just about building a portfolio, it's about building a better life. The real goal is to use money as a tool to become wiser, more patient, and ultimately happier.
And so we end with a question, not about interest rates or market forecasts, but about you. What does enough actually look like for you? Really think about it, because defining that for yourself, that might just be the most important financial decision you ever make.